Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to round one back nine coverage of the MPO lead card here at the 2024 MVP Open presented by OTB Discs. BigBarri commentary in the house, bringing you all the action here at a wet Maple Hill.
It's coming down. It's coming down. It's making it tough. We're seeing uncharacteristic misses from these guys from short range, medium range, long range. Yeah. They keep looking at their hand like, why are you failing me? But I think it's just because of the moisture.
The first 5 holes, I was like, okay. And now, granted, those are fairly easy for the course standards. But no bogeys. I was like, okay, here we go. Then hole 6 rolled around, and the course started showing what it's supposed to do. And obviously hole 9, man, my goodness, that is a tough hole. I didn't even announce this, but there were only 5 birdies in the field on the par 5 on this new hole. So that's pretty limited out of 81 of the top players on tour. Hole 10, the castle hole, 377 feet, playing just under 600. It's just 100 feet up. You just got to throw it 600 feet.
Realistically, playing 500 feet.
I would say that's about right.
Yep. 500.
You gotta get everything right.
Too low to get all the way up there. Now he does have the distance to get into circle 1.
Yes, he does. But I mean, that's a whole circle short of C2, just for reference. And that's Niklas Anttila here, folks. Calvin's gonna go Christmas tree shopping. I was thinking, man, if it were just a little closer to Christmas, how fun of a tradition would it be to grab one of the trees from Maple Hill and bring it back home for Christmas?
All you would have to do is drive right down the fairway and snag one.
That's what I'm saying. They're not going to catch me.
You'd purchase it.
Oh, yeah.
What are you talking about?
Of course. No, that's what I was talking about.
You're just sneaking in through the backside of Maple Hill. Oh, it's funny.
Jerm, where'd you get that tree? Found it. What are you talking about? Gannnon. Oh, he gets through everything, and
that's some love.
And it's a great shot too. But yeah, it's a little bit of love at the end.
You know what's funny is when you. Oh no. Sit.
Look at that thing spinning back downhill.
When you become the number 1 player in the world, it's funny listening to the other great players whisper about how lucky you are. I've heard the whispers going around the putting green about how lucky Gannnon is.
Little salt bays out there. Little salt bay. Apparently, Ricky calls Gannnon the course clogger. Gannnon told me that last night. He calls him the course clogger.
That's
a little saltiness.
Really funny, though.
He does the little plunger motion.
That's good.
It's funny stuff, man. And Niklas, that's a tough bogey to take. Unnecessary, unforced error.
And as you're watching, you'll see those guys. They don't really leave each other's side when they're playing against each other, which is fun to watch. They're always talking to each other. And
Gannnon and Ricky?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which you don't see that a lot with Ricky. So it's kind of fun to see. The banter they have going back and forth is probably pretty hilarious.
I can only imagine. Whoa, Ricky slips that one over the rim.
Yeah, these baskets are interesting. They come in a little bit at the top, so the bottom of the basket is actually bigger than the top of the rim of the basket. So it's a little bit shallower.
I don't think Ricky was ever... I was fortunate enough to take Ricky down a few times in my career, but I don't think I was ever a big enough threat for him to feel like he ever needed to do the little, you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
I'm doing a little finger thing for the people at home right now. The little...
I don't think he...
The gamesmanship words get under my skin.
I don't think he does that to anybody. I think he just birdies a lot. He has that. He doesn't have to say anything, you know. I feel like if he's saying and he's joking with you, then he's probably not in his best zone too. you know.
He used to just do the dot void to everybody. He'd
Yeah.
throw a bad shot in the woods, you'd park it, and he'd go, that void, your birdie's void. And I didn't even know what it meant, but it just canceled everything out. That was Ricky Wysocki for you, man. Nothing's changed.
No.
Hole 11, this hole hasn't changed. Same hole since forever, right?
Yes.
Yeah, one of the very few holes at Maple Hill that hasn't been tweaked in some way. Just aside from trees coming up and down. Boy, not going for the hyzer play. This is pure mash distance, and that is a rude landing because, man, that was heading to a special place.
And that's going to be a tough spot right there.
Yeah.
It really is.
May have a lean out forehand. Little Yankee there for Calvin. I don't think he meant to go that wide, but he might get away with it.
Ish.
Yeah, it's going to be blocked. The height's going to be real tricky because you don't want to throw it high going through the gap. You want to keep it kind of low and driven, but he's going to have a high release to get over the trees right in front of him.
Oh, and Ricky just gets the slightest bit of anhyzer. This has to be pretty dang good.
Cameraman at a good distance to not get turned there. Smart play there.
Wondering if
Yeah,
he's trying to lay this up short of all this stuff. Yes.
it's a good play.
Yes. This is the proper play. There actually is a stump right there that he hit, and that's like the best place.
The rock?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good hyzer flip through the gap here. Oh, too wide.
Is it?
Gets away with
Get
it.
a little lucky? No.
Not all the way.
I don't know what it is about this green, but for some reason when you go left and right, you see a lot of big putts on this one. A lot of people throwing it in from deep. I think it's because of shots like this to where you're so mad that you didn't give it the height.
Did that catch the top of a tree and immediately get shot down?
I don't know.
It happened so quick it was hard to tell, but I don't think Calvin just threw it into the ground like that. I think that was affected by the tree.
Maybe. Could be the
It was hard to see. It was
like
so quick.
slipped out of his hand, you know, with the rain.
Rick playing the hole to perfection.
Yep, slipped out right under the basket.
Gannnon got to lean out forehand. Doesn't have a ton of width here. That's a good result. He's going to have a long putt.
Long ways to jump up, but that'll work.
Yeah, gave one away in the last hole. Not going to make the same mistake again. That was about time for Calvin to make one of those. About time for Gannnon to make one of those, honestly.
Just dead center. Calvin, just a little tap in. Deal. And Ricky putting together a nice little round.
Mm-hmm.
Gets himself to 3 under. This whole card really sticking together, seems like. We saw that last week as well. Till the very end.
Yeah, they're there. I mean, Gannon's obviously going to be there. And all these guys are obviously going to be there. But yeah, with all the missed putts that we've seen so far from Gannnon, he could be in first place solo right now if they'd all gone in. This is one you're not going to see the proper flyover. I don't know when this was done, but they have planted some trees, and I just don't understand it really. Maybe future disc golfers will understand it, but there's some trees. Oh, actually, you could see it barely at the top of the hill there. You'll see it when these guys throw their drives, but it's just right where you want your drive to land. They're going to be right in the way at the top of the hill. Now, they're baby ones right now, but in a couple of years, these trees are going to be real annoying. That's a big drive for Gannnon. He's not going to have to worry about any sort of guardian tiny trees. The saplings will be 45 feet behind him and to the right. Ricky turns his drive over like he'd like.
Oh, with the lift, too.
Yeah, that's good. Now, he's so far right that those trees also aren't going to be in play. Let's see if somebody actually throws the drive down the middle.
Are you just absolutely bombing it up there?
I threw the best drive I've ever thrown, and I had a trick shot approach. I was not happy about it.
This thing zipped.
Yeah, this is so good.
Bye, Rick.
I like that spot up there. From there, it's just a pretty wide open hyzer down the hill for the forehand. I know you're not playing this week, so I am curious to get your take on this because I know that oftentimes we differ in our opinions about course design and stuff like that. That rock right there is a really good landing zone for this hole too.
Yes.
So he's going to have to go right side flex now. Overturned.
Need some help. Doesn't hit a thing. I've never seen anybody that far.
Well, you know why he's that far left?
Hit me.
Because he's not able to go straight at it down the hill. He has to throw the right to left flex because those little tiny trees that are there. And I mean, that's the way it is. Ricky plays the hole perfect and is going to get a birdie for it. A little bit lucky through the backside wood.
So
wood
good.
line.
Yeah.
Calvin, man, does he get the same result?
Just
no.
a little off from Rick's, and you'd still take that. You see a lot of people right there knocking that putt down. So
big drive. If it goes left, you're left with this. Just, okay, Magic Man over here. What on earth did he find?
now I'm starting to understand why the whispers are kind of going around.
Yeah, well,
That went through a lot of trees.
got to guide it there somehow.
Yes, you do. Oh,
That
that
was a
crazy.
very creative and super well executed approach shot from Niklas.
Calvin needs it. God.
So I think really what this ultimately comes down to is the birdie percentage on this hole was pretty high. And I think they were getting annoyed by it and they wanted to do something to change that. And so they did. They made the birdie harder. And to be the result is that the hole barely played under par.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
and that's a combination of the conditions. I mean, that's a big part of it, the rain, of course. But I think that those trees at the top of the hill, I'm sure protected 10 birdies that would have otherwise happened, is my guess. So doing their job. In the end, great birdies from Gannnon, and Ricky really played that perfectly. Out to the right, hyzer down the hill forehand is the best way to guarantee a good look at it, and he did it.
And that gets him to 4 under par. 5 under, leading the way on this card.
The pixel makes putting so effortless, which is exactly what I wanted from this disc, that I can just put it on the line and then just let the disc slow float to the chains. For me, always, the more a putter beats in, the more magic it has inside, so hit those chains.
Another classic here at Maple Hill. Holes only changed a little bit over the years, and all the change is really where this basket is here. Just imagine it another 25 feet longer. These flyovers are a couple years old, but this is a classic hole here at Maple Hill. Downhill, 472, probably 60 to 80 feet in elevation drop. Reachable with putter.
Like that. Really good line, but just leaks a little bit too far right. He's going to have a look, though. Oh, wow. This is a deep, almost C2 edge.
Remember the 117-footer he made on this one?
I do.
Oh, my goodness. So fun. Wasn't as cool as that. Or that one was, well, I don't know. They're both awesome. What a birdie. A A lot of cheers out there from the crowd. Something cool happened.
These guys still going over the top? Yes.
Well,
that doesn't look
we'll see if it goes over the top.
It doesn't look like it made it over the top.
It's a really bad hyzer then. If it didn't go over the top, then it's a bad hyzer. But it gets down to the road.
Yep.
That's an easy jump putt to save the 3. It's not even a save. That's just, you just get a 3 now.
Yeah. Ricky's going to go right down the gut. Too much hyzer.
Yeah. It's always tricky to get the wind read perfect here. And it, man, doesn't hit a dang thing. That's going to be deep of the hole. That'll be a weird little pitch up to get the par. But you want to get that wind read right because you want to just barely break it inside that one prominent tree you see down there. Unless this is your play, and then you don't have to worry about the trees until you get down to the bucket. Is that in the ditch? Oh, no, it's up the hill. I see it now.
Typically, you see them not hit much and then crash by the bucket, but nobody doing it correctly this time. Bit of a throw and pray over the top, I think.
Yeah, I think the play is that I intentionally try to hit trees directly over the basket. So you're almost throwing a hyzer that looks like it's sawed off left, but when it's thrown well, it oftentimes will hit the trees and just drop straight down to the basket.
I've seen a lot of people have a lot of success on it.
Takes a ton of power to get that far, that high.
Ooh, a little leaky on that approach.
Yeah,
That's
not an easy birdie. Or not an easy par, excuse me.
No. Awkward little putt with big drop off behind it. Sit.
Should be okay. Yeah, it's just, you get a 3. Ricky would love to just get a 3 now. This is not going to be, no, this is no formality here for sure.
Oh
my gosh. Okay. Maybe he had different thoughts. And there is the bogey for Niklas. He's been slipping over the last 5 holes.
Well, he got the bogey, and then he got 2 birds right away. Then a bogey. And now he was leading the card there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's going to find himself tied for last place on the card. Gets that one over the rim. I bet that wall kind of annoyed him with the way that he likes to putt there.
Seriously, yeah, he has a very low to high release, and that can sometimes get in your head. Got low obstacles protecting the freedom of the putt. Gannnon stays at 5, and he leads the card currently.
Wow.
That was interesting. That would have been such a sick throw-in.
Yep.
The lead is just right there at 6. Hasn't moved. This back 9 can be really tricky. But this hole, and the only thing that's changed on it is they built this new wall, and it's beautiful. And it's a lefty hyzer's dream wall. As I saw Nathan Queen throw a shot that was skipping right into the water, hits the wall and parked it. But I love the wall. It's absolute gorgeous addition to this beautiful, already iconic hole 14.
I think it's needed on this hole.
I agree. Gavin Babcock sitting at 6 under.
Having a really good round.
And that's a really good direct line at it. Yeah, that is how you play it. That was never in any danger of being in bounds. Set up a little 28-footer. Capitalize. That'll get you to 7. And our former champ, our reigning champ, Matty O.
Gets it out pretty wide. Nice little wind lift.
It's a good lift.
It is.
Oh, Matteo!
Give it to him.
The hole-in-one.
Oh my gosh, wait till you see this reaction. It's just a classic. Instant classic. I mean, look at everybody. It's celebrating.
Okay, the reaction. I haven't seen the reaction cam yet.
Shout out to Thomas. He filmed this perfectly. It even fades back in.
First down.
Doesn't go crazy, just goes first down.
Jeez, that's a guy who's done a lot of good shots.
Yeah.
Act like you've been there.
Yeah, exactly. Must have been having a rough one before that, I'm guessing. A little bit of a rough one.
Just iconic. What a shot.
I like the width.
Yeah, I love it too. Maybe needs to slow down a bit. Heading a bit deep there. Still, good safe shot.
Yep.
Scary run. I don't know. Green light, red light.
Green light. Now with the wall there, you can throw a little touch. With a little touch, make sure it doesn't go too far past. Before it would just slide out, so there was no amount of touch. If you gave it the height, it was gone.
Ricky, I feel like this is a hole where Ricky ends up in the woods more times than anyone else I think I know. That's usually on coverage, but he just doesn't want to play with the odds of parking it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad play.
No, and the drop zone's brutal. I mean, you just go to the FPO pad and you still have a scary 300-foot shot over water.
Yeah, I mean, if you do throw it in the water, it's almost a guaranteed 5.
Yeah, it's hard. It's a good 4. It becomes a good bogey, and good bogeys are always bad.
Which I like it, and this is dropping.
Ooh, the double drop. This is gonna have to find safety long, and it's not gonna get there. That's gonna be to the drop zone. Let's see what Niklas does from there. Damage control time.
Yeah, see, this just isn't worth it to me. Just throw it in the woods. Get out of here. Not a lot of people are birdieing.
Yeah, and oh boy, he's got that for the bogey.
Bad reaction off of that. I thought it would have stuck a little better. Heiser jump putt. Yes. Easy peasy.
Even with Ricky going left in the woods, I bet his overall score on this hole is probably pretty close to par, if not under par. Oh boy, what on earth?
What? He hit 5 trees.
That was not expected.
This is dangerous from this distance now because you know he's running it. Oh,
Come on.
jeez.
That's so good.
Just hanging around.
About time. Honestly, about time. Calvin, you give us at least one of those 55 to 60 footers per round, and there it is. We could do a whole montage of that length putt for Calvin, and he's so good from that range. He's so dangerous. Yeah, I agree. Green light. You called it perfectly.
Perfect touch.
Yep.
See, before that's gone for sure. Oh, these guys know how to put a Band-Aid on it.
Yep. Great putt.
Ricky testing the basket like usual.
I know.
It's like, how soft could I put it nose up as high in the basket as I can on the thinnest rim on the tour?
What blows me away is that how many different ways are there to spin it from that short of a range where you could throw it and the disc would do that in the basket when it hit the chains. There can't be that many different ways to get that much spin on it.
Yeah.
That being said, I could spend an entire day from 15 feet to try to get my disc to react the way that Ricky's does from that range and not do it one single time.
Yeah.
And he does it all the time. What's he doing? Why does it do that?
I make so many putts.
It's so crazy.
I think it is pretty crazy. This one's not so crazy. Little par 3, 322, dead straight, flex shot as well. Those are your options. Go right down the middle. Hit this first gap, and then good things happen, typically.
Yeah, that's...
There you go. See, like, he's not trying to throw that exact line through all those trees. He's trying to go right at it. But if you hit the first gap, you can get some love down there.
Cool things happen.
Oh. Talk about the high left. Gets to 7 under with time to spare.
Talk about a hungry beast. This guy's trying to keep that 13-year streak alive this week.
Gannnon does have driver, so he is going flex.
I think he misses line.
I don't.
No, I'm kidding. This is going to...
That's so good,
That's
man.
perfect.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
That'll get him to 6 under par. I mean...
Man. It's just nothing. The only things that are in the way he hit. There's little tiny guys, and that's it. Everything else, he was so far away from the obstacle trees. Once you make that initial gap, the disc is just only has one place to go.
Oh, not the best kid.
Yeah.
No.
As long as you don't go back down the hill. A lot of times when you hit early trees in this hole, you go back down that little ravine. It can be a tricky save from down there. At least that was a forward glancing blow for Ray. See, this can be tough.
Oh, yeah.
I think this is just what this course does to you, man.
It does, yeah.
It just grinds you down for 3.5 hours.
And it's funny because you practice it and you're having a great time. Don't care about the bad shots. You're just having a blast. It's Maple Hill.
Come tournament.
And then the tournament starts and you're like, wait, oh yeah, I forgot I'm playing the hardest course ever.
It just grinds you down, dude. Like all the stumps out here. You just it's hard to maintain a good round all the way through. But the thing is, when you do, every so often you get through and you just find a way and you will yourself birdies. There is almost no better feeling than a good round out here.
It's true. Ricky, yeah, how do you go between them? I guarantee that's what he's thinking right now. How did I go between them?
Mm-hmm.
Calvin does get a lot of gray in a row.
Yeah.
Gets it. Been scrambling, hadn't he?
Yes, he has, man. That's
back-to-back really good putts to save the par.
And it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good to miss hole 15 or the other holes before it, but as long as you're avoiding the bogeys, it's not bad. But it's just certainly not like a lot of the events we played this season where if you're not birdieing, you're falling behind. This one par plays.
Really does. Look at that shot. Fantastic.
And Gannnon just one back of the leaders now. Gavin Babcock, Macbeth at 7. Ezra's been at 6 since like hole 6. He's just been sitting there. Hole 16, another gorgeous hole. What else can you call it? It's the slip ace hole. One of the most famous aces in the sport of disc golf. 476 feet, downhill, tight window the entire way. There are some right side backdoor routes. There's not really any left side backdoor routes, so it's going to be a hyzer flip and maybe even a little bit of a turnover to try to get through that window.
Oh, that's a ton of hyzer.
Whoa.
And a ton of flip. Gets through the Guardians and
hits the Macbeth Foundation sign.
Yeah.
Is that rude? Is that self-cannibalism? Like, what's going on there? If you're if you're damaging your own property, I don't know. I don't like it.
Oh my!
Well,
that's as good as they
I think he heard what I had to say.
Yeah.
He wanted to change it.
That's as good as they make them. Well, he got to 7 for a half second and then bogeyed right away. Oh, center.
Watch out.
You know, this is the guy right here.
Watch out.
Needs this to have 13 straight.
Watch out.
Ricky
No,
already
for
got
14.
it. This.
He's sitting on 13.
Okay. And
to be clear, most of you guys know, but that streak that we're talking about is 13 consecutive years with an Elite Series or major victory. Ricky and Paul have been on that ride for 13 consecutive years, and Ricky's extended that to 14 with a couple wins already this year. Macbeth doesn't have a win this season. Pretty crazy to think that we can say that.
Yeah, and he has like 3 or 4 second places. So he's close, but I can't imagine a world where he doesn't win. And
I haven't lived in that world for my adult life.
yeah, exactly. And we it's possible that we're living in it.
Ricky also.
Are you serious?
Okay.
How about those whispers, Gannnon?
What kind of clogging was that there, Rick? The course clogger accuser. What? The double tree? Okay, come on. That is absolutely absurd. A little help from his longtime rival, Macbeth, off the sign and to Park City, Utah.
But what I'm saying is, next 3 tournaments, bet on Paul Macbeth if you want to make money. I think that's what I would say because it's happened my whole life. I wouldn't if Ricky was in the same position. I'd put a lot of money. Jeez.
These guys are so lucky. That wasn't even that good of a shot from Calvin.
That was Calvin?
Yeah.
I called it Niklas.
That was an
beautiful.
absolute laser beam from Calvin. Obviously, only kidding. That was gorgeous.
This one too. Same shot. What are they gonna? Could they?
No.
Oh no, Gannnon hit early
tree.
He could
early
still
tree.
make it.
Yeah, I mean, if he does, and it's a star frame, going home early, and I'll see you at the USCGC.
I like the shape. Little short. Great shot though. Great recovery shot. Been there a lot of times. It's not that. It's not that easy from where he was.
That was a great approach shot from Gannnon.
What do you think? You think Macbeth's getting one? Coming down the stretch, he's got.
Like you said, I think you worded it perfectly. It's so hard to bet against him. Think about this. You are for the longest time the player that everyone's coming after. And yet somehow every single tournament you lace up your shoes, you strap the bag, you pull the bag tight, you go out there and you kick butt another week. What do you have to prove? You're the best player in the world. And you did it for years and years and years. And that mentality, that tenacity, that consistency comes from somewhere in a place that you and I can't relate to.
Right.
And so that's in there. That is a competitive spirit that belongs in every single GOAT in all sports. And it's something that's very special. And when it happens, and it happens in front of us, it's something that we should all really, really cherish. It's one of the reasons why when I see the online hate for Gannnon, the way he wins, people are like, it's boring. I'm like, you guys need to be quiet because what we're seeing is something special.
Yeah.
But that was Macbeth and has been Macbeth for so long. I truly believe he will definitely be in the hunt coming down the stretch. Does he take one? I don't know, but it's going to be fun to watch.
Save it for the final day. That was good, Bubba.
Proctor, great round for him. Goes the hyzer flip turnover. Gorgeous tee shot. Wheel. Maybe a little overturned.
Yeah, there's not much over there.
I liked it at first, but this can be pretty tricky.
I don't like that decision.
Oh, boy. I mean, what's the best thing that can happen from there?
Do it again.
You go to the top of the hill, and it's just a jump putt from there.
Okay. Gets through.
All right.
Yeah. 25-footer. The one place you can't hit these baskets. It's so thin.
Yep.
On the low side. Any higher, that's in there.
Yeah,
Any higher. Which is so weird because you're typically aiming low on every basket. And then these ones, the sweet spot's high, unless you're right on the pole.
That's a tough bogey. That drive was really pretty. Good distance, but you just can't overturn it. The angle gets really bad over there.
Paul's spinning it today.
Oof.
Oh, get wrecked.
Dang it. That was the tallest Christmas tree in the farm from being perfect.
Are these two playing together?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, cool.
Yep. I don't know how Ezra hasn't won an Elite Series event yet. I mean, but that title's either coming late season this year or sometime next season.
And they're playing together. Who gets it first? Paul gets his first of the year, or Ezra gets his first ever?
Yeah, does Macbeth get his 53rd win on tour, or Ezra first?
You know, you're probably pretty close.
Between the two of them, that's a great bet. Who wins the next Pro Tour between the two of these guys? That'd be an interesting bet to take. I would take this guy, though, personally.
Yeah, it's an interesting bet until you have to put money on it.
Would you take the bet? $50? I say Paul, you say Ezra?
No.
Okay.
No
well,
way.
Yeah,
Well, hey, Paul, you want to bet against the greatest of all time? No.
I'm just messing.
I have to say one of the greatest of all time.
Yes. But one of two.
Yes.
There's no question on that one for sure. Ooh, maximizing the drive for Rick, and maybe a fortunate little ground play there with that front side of the rock. That'd have been 2 inches higher, skipped off the rock. That is certainly OB.
Oh, no. Oh, buddy.
It didn't have to take that last kick. Okay, the kicks early were bad enough. The last kick said, no, I'm not done with you. And it just booted it back into the woods. That was not kind at all.
No, not necessary. Gets past it.
I never realized how that big tree is just perfectly in the way for that late turnover.
Yeah.
It's just a monster. That's a really good one. It needs to get down, actually. Again, the angles can be tough. He just throws it too far. The turnover is great, but the distance makes it tough. Once you get too close to that wood line, the angle's nothing.
He's a little outside of where Proctor was. I think he might be fine. Now this guy is in a world of hurt.
Yeah, I
don't think you saved the bogey from there.
I don't think Calvin the Gray continues his ways. Just a lot of gray in the Pac 9. I mean, I don't know. Trying things here. Oh, don't do that. Don't. Oh, did it bounce back off the... Oh, that's fortunate.
Yeah. I think he was trying to get to the pin, honestly.
Yeah.
And it just turned over a little too much.
Well, fortunately, it's going to be more than likely a bogey instead of a double. And
good little tree hit there.
Fighting his way back. Niklas, more than likely going to get back to 3 under. Good shot shaping for Ricky. It's about 26, 27 feet obstructed. Could be a little closer.
Yeah, this looks like it should be fine.
But it's awkward having to throw Heiser over the right knee.
Oh, and he hugged it perfectly. Oh, hits the Barbasol banner bucket. He's the reason why that thing has so many dents in it.
He's shaving off some of his score.
Good little approach. Ricky's putt today. Been razor sharp, you know?
Yeah, early on it was a lot of C2 putts that were just kind of affected by the rain. But once the rain kind of chilled out a little bit, I think he's been, like you said, he's been spot on. And Niklas high in the basket and in for the birdie. And Gannnon will tap this out to get to 7 under.
Calvin going backwards.
And so he goes to 2 under, slow back 9. Those are always so tough just to throw it with that much hyzer and barely make the corner. And by him barely making the corner, he still pushed the back edge of the fairway.
Oh, that's big time, yeah.
That's how tough that shot was. And it's a slow day for him. He's only 7 under with the leaders at 9. Oh boy.
Hole 18, par 4, 640, playing about 7, probably 750, right around there. Big tee shot, though, gets you to about right in here. Best case scenario. Sidearm or turnover approach into this island green. You're going to see a bunch of people over there on that left side cheering for their favorite players and scoring tent right up, or scoring barn right behind it.
Yeah, the Sap House with some advancements this season. Gavin going for the green. And look at that. Puts it just outside bullseye. That shot plays so much farther than your rangefinder reads. It's just uphill, and you got to beat that corner at the width. And you only have so much space between the walls. Such a specific and narrow shot. Great round for Gavin today. And Ezra from out of position. And
that's just a layup. I was like, is this guy going?
I was wondering, what is this crazy guy doing here? Just laying it up. Macbeth was a perfect tee shot.
Oh, that's too far.
Yeah, that's going to be...
This is a tricky one. As soon as you turn it over like that and it's that low, no chance. You have to give it height. If you give it height, there's no way to go into the bleachers.
And that would be to get to 10 under. Macbeth is more than likely going to fall back a stroke.
This is not an easy upshot. That's dangerous.
Why on earth are you... That is so good.
For the par.
To stay at 9 under.
No.
And Macbeth will be dropping back to 8. And bogey for Macbeth on the final hole, but man, what a stretch he was putting together there to finish this round. 6 birdies in the last 6 would have been the case if he had gotten bounds off that approach.
Yeah, it looks like 8 under is going to be the number. Ricky.
Yeah, and it's not going to get bested by this card. Gannnon could just get there. That is the drive that you want here. Very, very good.
Smoked. I mean, watch how far this goes compared to Ricky's sidearm. Hyzer flip, fast disc. Dang. Oh, well, that's not a good example, obviously.
But still, I mean, even if that's a little bit higher, I don't think he's getting to Rick's forehand or even within 30 of it.
I mean, the distance that Gannon's put on his forehand over the last just year is incredible.
It's just as good of a shot as Ricky's, but with a better angle.
Mm-hmm. I mean, what do you think? He's gained 50 feet on that thing this year? Seemed like.
And 20% more consistency. I don't know how to even calculate that, but...
This needs help.
Are you kidding me? I mean, nice catch, but dang, that stinks. I think Calvin's drive is safe. If the tree just releases it, it's just going to spin and it's going to work its way back in bounds. It's kind of a bad break, honestly, even though the shot was way overturned.
So he's just going to be laying up for bogey here.
And I didn't know if you guys know this, but the final 6 holes were actually played in a elf fairy tale video game. These cameras are so foggy from the rain all day. Not really a funny joke, but anyways, I digress.
Looks wide.
Nope, perfect.
A little wide. Great shot. I've seen some hit that wall and roll.
Oh, I've seen that same result myself. Can't tell me this doesn't look like Lord of the Rings. Rick.
Hop in there.
Come on. That would have been so cool. So I don't know if 7 under is good enough to get on lead card. I think if Gannnon makes this, he'll get to 8.
Imagine that lead card. Macbeth, Gannnon,
Oof.
Rickster.
Oh.
And then it'll be Ezra. So.
Okay. I can imagine. Yeah, zip.
Give me that. On the stripe.
Not going to keep him off the lead card tomorrow.
For how bad Niklas played, 3 under is not too bad. You know? 5 back of the lead.
It's a fighting round, man.
Yep, 5 back of the lead. Missed some really short putts, a couple bad up shots. Calvin, a little more work. A little more work. And Ricky just Ricking.
That's why people love the Rickster.
Was he just posing?
I don't know what he was doing. I don't think he does either, but 7 under for Rick today is a great round. 5 under in the back 9, and Rain's going to continue doing his thing, but I don't think, I'm going to go ahead and say, I don't think it's going to be raining the rest of the week. I think we're going to have decent weather.
Okay.
Got the fingers crossed, and so the field does as well. Wysocki, Gannnon, Buhr, Ezra Robinson, Paul Macbeth, your lead card tomorrow.
How cool.
Boy.
Can't ask for really a better one.
And you got your reigning champion on chase card, Aaron Gossage, Gavin Babcock, Parker Welk. He's out here competing for stuff,
Yeah.
for sure. So we've got a lot of players in contention, but the usual suspects at the top once again. What are your takeaways today?
I mean, just a battling round for these guys. I don't think any of them really played perfect, but we see Gannnon do unperfect things, and he's in the lead. And Ricky just always grinding, always a fighter. And Macbeth is on the lead card. I'm so excited to see that battle.
I'm not even kidding, guys. These hats are sick.
Yeah.
I know we promote a lot of things here, but this is genuine. They give me a hat I wear a lot. So check out this stuff on our website. All right, that's going to do it for us. Round 1. Yeah. Try our round 2 tomorrow. Looking forward to it. See y'all there.